just going to drill some basics. We're going to drill some submissions and such tonight. So we'll get started with that. We're going to do a top block arm bar tonight. I'm going to do a little bit different take on it. Some of you that frequent some of the day classes have probably seen it. So he's going to be inside my guard. Yeah. So if you don't know what a top block arm bar is, anytime I'm trying to move this arm across the center line, anytime it's in the middle, I can get over his shoulder. Okay. So I'm just going to come up with different ways to kind of get this arm in the middle. I don't have to have it all the way over here. There are techniques for that. I'm just trying to get his arm in the middle. Okay. So I'm going to cross grip his sleeve. A lot of times I'm back here. I'm going to go a different grip. I'm going to go collar grip here. And I'm going to pull down as I pull the arm. All I'm trying to do is make his shoulders smaller. Okay, so we're going to get into this arm bar real quick. Completely contrary to the, to the three-step arm bar where I'm in the hip and making all these motions, right? I'm going to pull, right? So as he's getting into my gi, pull, open. I'm trapping his shoulder. I'm going to pinch my knees. Okay, I know I have him correctly if he can't pull his arm out. Okay, so I know I'm good. So right here, I don't need much of an angle to get around his head. I can frame right to the arm, okay? This is high, this is angled out, so he can't pick his head up, okay? Not this, okay? He's gonna stuff my knees to my face, right? I don't want that. Angle this out, this is up at his back. I can get the handshake grip. There's no way out if I grab that. I can't manipulate his thumb, but I can grab it. Or I can just hold it at his wrist, okay? His elbow's right in my instep, lift up, finish, okay? So cross grip, collar grip, I'm gonna pull and pull this way. Here, open, pinch, okay? From here, push the head right over the top, I've made my angle, okay? If you want, pull, trap, I can go left hand on his wrist and dive under his leg. That works as well, okay? Either of those is fine. When I take this grip, I tend to just stay right where I'm at. So if you want to do this in 2 steps, you can climb, trap. That's fine too, okay? I tend to just set it up, open, clamp, squeeze, okay? I know I have him. If I pinch this, he can't pull his arm out, okay? Hand to the side of the head, over to the top. I'm kind of in a 90-degree angle here, so I know I got it. Hip up, finish. Okay?
Dave, that transition where you move your leg over the head,
yeah.
Is he able to pull that arm out and time it?
No. So there's a squeeze here. So I'm pinching, okay? So if I'm holding here, right, and I'm framing at his neck, right, this is tight. So try to pull your arm out, right? It's not going anywhere.
So you have to maintain a grip on that right hand then?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be, right? So if I'm pinching tight, right, I can hold this other arm, okay? But yes, I'm gonna have to hold the hand, hold the wrist, furthest point from the lever, all right? We're trying to do this efficiently, not a lot of movement, right? If you're not very flexible, this is the way we need to look at doing it, as opposed to making a big angle where some of you might have difficulty doing so, especially from the bottom position. Any questions on this? All right, get with a partner, let's try that, all right? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take the same movement and we're gonna attack a different arm, okay? Reason for that, maybe he pulls that elbow in a little bit, something's not perfect, okay? That's okay. He's not gonna totally pull the arm out until he'll be in a triangle. So I have options here, right? Pull. I saw a lot of people really going this way. That's okay, but if I get his arm this far, I'm just gonna take his back, right? Just get to his back, just as easy, okay? People are really trying to avoid that, right? So here, I mean, I've got a freebie anytime. Here, okay? Now, because I'm already in this position, like my feet on his hips to finish this is not ideal because I have to move my legs completely off of him to get back to his hips, okay? So what I do in this case is I'm gonna trap with my bicep, go with my butterfly grip, And I'm gonna do something that I wouldn't normally do. I'm gonna take my leg over the head and I'm gonna turn my knees down. And now I've created the angle to arch into him for the arm bar, okay? So that space between my ribs and his elbow where it's not supposed to go, I'm using my neck on his wrist. And I have my bicep right here. I grab my forearms and I crunch, okay? I don't want to do it from here. I might get him, it just depends on the person. But if it's his arms laying flat on my chest, I may not get him at all. Especially if he's a big, strong guy, I may not get him, right? I'm gonna turn him down here, crunch, okay? I have a ton of travel to take his arm the direction it's not supposed to go. Okay, so I drag here, come in, subtle, so I have the arm over the head, take my knees to the floor, find his wrist with my neck, crunch. Okay, does that make sense? Obviously from here I can get this. If I haven't got that, I'm going to control his elbow. And Kimura, I've endless wrist locks, all kinds of stuff here. It's really hard for him to roll here. Try to roll. Right? He's not really in a good spot. Okay? So here, crunch.
You can't roll because you're. No.
His arm's not in a good spot either. Right? So we'll say I have this arm in a little low. Right? Maybe I just don't, I feel like it's too low, I don't want it. Or maybe this is just screaming at me and wants me to take it. Here, turn, crunch. Does that make sense? Any questions? It's not complicated, but anytime that we're in this position, triangle, armbar, omoplata, they're always there. All right? Any questions on the setup for this? That elbow will likely be a little open from his body, which means the omoplata, the kimura, or that straight armbar is there. Okay? Yes?
You do that, I don't know the name of the grip, but the one where you like double cross in grip?
I call it a they call it a butterfly grip.
Yeah, okay.
I used to go palm to palm, but sometimes on certain body types, there's more space there. I'm trying to take the space away, right? So he can't rotate his arm or anything like that. I'm gonna use my neck and shoulder to pin his wrist. Okay? Anybody need to see it again, or are we good? All right, try that. 1, 2, 3. Same setup. Drag, trap, his arms open, okay? I have either from, anytime his elbow's away from his ribs, omoplata is an option, okay? His arm's already there, okay? All I have to do is grab at his belt or the skirt of his gi, turn a little bit. Arm here, right? At any point, grab, frame, right? Go right to the omoplata, okay? Where this will come in, come on. Yeah. So I have him here, trap. Maybe he closes his elbow in some, right? Right, so he's kind of defending. I don't feel like I can arm bar over the top of that. And his elbow is inside here. He didn't let his hand go to the mat. That's okay. So maybe I'm here. Maybe I see another option. It's still exposed from his ribs. It's not closed all the way. So there's a space. I lift my hips, I pummel, hug my knee. Okay? Now I switch, and I'm gonna open, capture his tricep. I have his belt. I'm gonna drop my elbow over his wrist. Okay? I'm holding his tricep, cross my ankles. Okay? If I'm a little off like this, that's okay. I don't wanna sit up this way because I'm gonna be sitting up into his body. Okay? So if I'm here, I hip out, shoot, stand up. I like to extend this leg to break him down. Open my foot, fold, stay on my foot. Don't drop my knee to the floor. Okay? If they have flexible shoulders, I can't come up very high. Foot here, taking my knee to the floor. Okay? I'm wrapping his back so he can't roll. There's nowhere for him to go. There's no gap for him to get through. Does that make sense? Right? So this is, he's defending. I'm gonna pommel here, hug my shin, grab at his belt. okay? I'm gonna open this leg so it's gonna free his arm for me to attack this. Okay, so I'm gonna push a little bit. Here, have it, elbow over his wrist. Okay, adjust, sit back a little bit. There you go. Now, shoot. Extend the leg, open, knee down. All right. Does that make sense? Any questions on what we're doing? Even if his arm, in that scenario, this arm's in the middle, there's a gap here. So even if he's trying to close it, there's still a gap here, right? It's really hard for him to keep his arms kind of T-rexed in there, okay? It may be wide open for you to just take it, right? That other arm bar is really easy from there too, because that elbow tends to be kind of sitting out, you know, from that double drag position. All right. Any questions on that?
At what point do you mitigate being triangled from that? Like when you realize you're about to get home plotted, I guess from the defensive standpoint, when are you safe no longer from the triangle?
Well, he has to remove his arm. So I have to remove an arm out of that scenario to get, because I have both arms in, right? So I need to force an arm in that case, right? So if I want a triangle from there, I have to manipulate one of those arms out of the scenario, okay? And what that would be, right? So I drag here, right? If I decide I wanted to go for maybe a triangle from there, what I might want to do is take this hand and punch it in and drop up. So now his hand's basically out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what that is similar to is, you know, the old school,
One in, one out.
right?
Yeah.
So that hand's kind of stuck. I just shove it up by his neck and jump over it again, and you know, basically alter my position a little bit and jump over it again. And then he's basically, that only thing he's got in there is his wrist. It's basically a triangle at that point.
Okay.
All right. One more time on this one. Drag here. Closes his elbow a little bit. That's okay. I don't feel like I can armbar over it. I'm gonna lift my hips, pummel, hug my shin. Okay. Now I have him. To be honest with you, I can take this arm again if I really want. Okay. So I'm here. I have the belt. I'm gonna push on the neck. I'm gonna open this to let me swivel really easily. That way, it kind of gets this arm out of my way. Here. Drop my elbow over his wrist. I'm holding his collar. I like to switch off the collar and switch to the tricep. It makes it easier for me to sit up. Chase, fold, okay? Knee to the floor, okay? So you don't hurt anybody. Roll backwards out so you don't get, I don't spin his shoulder around when I try to get up. Everybody good? Finish out on that tonight. 1, 2, 3.